It's funny, but you know what sometimes I think is like when I'm out and someone is being rude to an elderly person, or like you get frustrated because they're not driving fast, I then think, oh my gosh, what if that was like my grandma or my grandpa?
Or us. Like eventually we're going to be older
I would
too.
Hate that.
Like we want
I
to
try to stop myself from
getting frustrated.
I'm glad she kind of sat on it for a few days.
Yeah.
And decided, okay, let's not start this off. But that is kind of funny.
It's comical.
Number, taking a name, you coded the door, and welcome to the game.
Hi, and welcome back to Dear Dilemma. I hope you all have had a great week or a great weekend, or whenever you're listening to this, or if you're in the car, stay safe. But yeah, we have a new submission for this week. And Hannah, what do you have for us?
So this one is kind of a submission that I feel like a lot of us have probably dealt with at some point. And so I think it's kind of a good one. But the submission is... An 80-year-old woman moved into the apartment below me last Saturday, so she's barely been here a week. I woke up to a noise complaint filed against me, and this letter was on my front door this morning. She came and knocked on my door last night after my boyfriend dropped his phone on the ground 3 times in a row. He's very clumsy. But up until this point, we had just been laying in bed all night watching TV and not being loud at all. So this is the letter. Hi, I'm your downstairs neighbor. I knocked loudly and waited, then knocked again. You didn't answer the door. I came up to inquire if you're lifting weights and dropping them. Maybe
elderly people, I'll tell you.
I'm surprised she can hear it.
Facts. That is true.
I'm just kidding. That was mean. I'm sorry.
But it's factual information. Keep going.
Maybe you have... Okay, sorry, I got to start this paragraph over because it gets good. It gets a little juicy, you guys. I came up to inquire if you're lifting weights and dropping them. Maybe you have a disability, which I need to learn about, which causes the crashing noises.
The audacity!
I can't even finish this letter. That's messed up. She's savage.
I'm telling you, once you hit a certain age, they have no filter.
She does not care. She could give
sometimes
2 craps.
It's funny, but sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, put you in a nursing home ASAP.
For real. For real. I need to learn about the disability. So she said, I need to learn about which causes the crashing noises after hours on a nightly basis. Please let me know if there's an issue for the very loud items being slammed to the floor / my ceiling. I will try to be understanding. Thank you. And then she put her name and the apartment number. And then it says at the end, copied for management.
So she done took it to the manager.
She took it to
after
management.
night one.
After night one? Mm-hmm. What would you say? What would you do?
There's a Holy Brook. And then there's a non-Holy Brook version.
Maybe a Petty Brook?
The Petty Brook or the Holy Brook? Right now, where I'm at now, it would probably be the Holy Brook, and I'd be like, hey, knock on her door. Hey, I'm so sorry that this happened, and talk with her.
What if she didn't answer? Would you write a letter that was petty back? Like, I knocked 3 times.
Petty Brook would come in, and I would say,
do you have a disability?
I knocked 3 times. Maybe your hearing aids.
Maybe you have a hearing impairment.
My question is, how long has whoever wrote this in has been there before this lady moved in and hasn't had any issues, I wonder?
I don't know.
Or if it, what kind of apartment is she at? Is she at an apartment that's for everyone? Is she at an apartment that has more college kids but some families? When I lived in an apartment in college, pretty much the whole apartment complexes, majority of them towards the back were I was at college students. You had the basketball house, the volleyball apartment. It was just, we had Isn't
that where, a lot of apartment complexes, though, have a lot of college students that live there anyways.
Near college campus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had a family next door to us, unfortunately, and they had this dog that would not stop barking, no matter what. I wish I could remember the name. I should know it because that's all I heard all the time is, "Stop barking!" barking. Stop barking. Shut up. And we could hear him through the walls to the point where we got petty, my roommates and I. So we started banging on the wall and we're like, shut up, Taco, or whatever the dog's name was, because we were so sick and tired of it. But they were also kind of like sketchy. And so we knew if we were to like knock on their door to say something, we might have died. But
fair.
That's what they got for living back. Like they could have requested to move up towards the front.
Yeah.
To get away from like it literally was like the college.
And I was going to say, I think with any apartment complex, the walls are pretty thin. Like
Very.
I've lived in multiple apartment complexes and you hear everything, which just sucks. But this lady obviously is going to be on the first floor because she's probably older in age. She doesn't want to like go up and down stairs, carry groceries and all that. So I understand that. But if you decide to move into a
top floor,
lower level apartment, you need to know that things are going to... So in this case, I kind of feel like this lady should have also considered other one-story apartment complexes that are like more... I'm not saying assisted living. Like, I don't know her life. But I'm just saying there are like the one-story ones,
and
too.
she has to think... Clearly she's not. Or I'm assuming she may be coming from like her own home.
Maybe.
How to sell it too big. Her kids were like, Mom, it's time to
Downsizing,
downsize, get you an apartment that's more reliable, whatever it may be. So she's also not probably used to noises. Mm-hmm. And it could be anything from like, I mean, that's with anyone. If I'm in my own home now, but if I were to go back to an apartment and even one noise, not even like being like, okay, for instance, when I'm traveling, something always happens to me when I'm traveling for work. I've heard people have sex in the next room.
No. Scandalous.
At like 5 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Why?
So early.
Why? I've heard alarm clocks that went off for hours to the point I wanted to bang on the wall.
Oh my gosh.
But even just as simple of just hearing like in the middle of the night, the elevator or like the toilet, it's annoying to you because you're not used to it.
Right.
You live in your own home, you know?
So you're used to having your own space.
But I'm not going to complain. I'm there for a couple of days. Now, for her instance, maybe she should have gave it a few more nights before, like...
Well, this is the first week she moved in.
Don't assume that someone has a disability.
That's rude to me. Like, why would you
put that?
Have the audacity of saying that? Like, you could have worded it a lot nicer than that.
What would you have done?
Oh... I'm not sure. I'm really not sure because I feel like part of me wants to be that confrontational person and the other part's like, let's be the bigger person, Hannah. So I don't really know what I would do in that situation, but I probably would.
I would have been mad they took it to management before having a conversation with me.
And I think that I would have probably, like you said, try to knock on the door and be like, hey, this is kind of ridiculous that you would... that you would accuse me of having a disability. Like, that's also not very nice.
Yeah. And I was going to bake you cookies.
Yeah.
But not now.
Like,
welcome to the apartment.
I thought you came from the generation where we got to know our neighbors and we were nice to them and we baked them a lemon cake.
I can't categorize all elderly, but some of them, they're just feisty. They have had it. They are ready to go. They have no filter. My grandmother is one of them. You don't know what's going to come out of her mouth. And you're just like, oh my gosh, Grandma, I'll put you back in the house. We can't have you out here in public.
Can't take you anywhere, Grandma.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think I would have, or potentially would, like, maybe wrote a letter back, which I actually have a part 2 to this, and I didn't tell you.
Oh.
Because I did get a part 2 submitted.
Okay.
And it actually tells...
Oh, can we know?
Yeah.
Okay, go
Let
ahead.
me pull it up.
Okay.
So...
I would say this. I would have, if I had been living there, I don't know how long this person has been living there, but obviously longer than she has, and you took it to management, then that could be a bad look on you. And it's hard to get places nowadays.
That's true. It
So
could
I
go
would
on
have
your
been a
record.
little bit worried, like, oh my gosh, is this going to go on my record? I don't want to get kicked out. Like, do I go talk to management first and say, hey, I don't know, I got this. I'm so sorry. This was what happened. I'll talk to her and apologize.
Yeah.
But also the petty side of me would have been like,
I know. It would have made me so mad.
Okay, what's the part 2?
So part 2 is the response back. So this individual decided to write a letter back to the older lady. Should say the elderly lady. And this is what she said. Hello, I'm just going to say Jay. Okay. Hello, Jay. This is your upstairs neighbor. Me and my roommate are both college-age women and cannot see out of our peephole because it is blacked out. Therefore, opening the door when neither of us are expecting company will never be a safe or sensible option for us. Love that. First and foremost, I would like to apologize if we caused you any disturbance as it was not intentional. The Chester Heights apartment walls, Chester Heights is like college.
That's where I
apartments. And the walls are really thin there from what I've heard.
They are, yeah. I think that dog's name was Taco. I should know this. It's just should be embedded in my brain. Continue. It's going to bother me.
Dang you, Taco. Quit barking.
I swear it was a food name because we were always like, they got tacos around here? What's going on?
The Chester Heights apartment walls and floors are very thin, making every sound amplified. I have lived in the bottom floor of these apartments in the past, and I know just how loud every sound can be. Walking sounds like stomping, dropping everyday items sounds like weight slamming to the ground. With that being said, I always try to walk as light as possible and be mindful of any noises that come from everyday life. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I cannot help occasionally dropping things. Things happen, and unfortunately, sound travels very easily in these apartments. I want you to know the noise is never intentional, and I will try my best to limit these inconveniences. Best, your upstairs neighbors. Copied from management.
That was really nice.
That was really nice. And then there's
more?
There's more.
She didn't just leave it at that?
So that was the letter she ended up going with.
Is there another version of a letter? What she wanted
yeah,
to do? So she sat there and she's like, I'm going to be nice and I'm going to write the pettiness of me and then I'm going to
And exactly what we were doing, one. Brooke, we're like, do we do this one or do we do this one? So when she wrote in, she said that she had the petty version too. But she ended up going with the first letter. This is the one that she wanted to give to her but decided not to. Okay. So this is the petty version.
Oh, no.
And this one's kind of funny.
Okay.
Dear Jay, yes, I'm so sorry you were not previously made aware of my disability.
Oh, no.
I have been formally diagnosed with disability to beat yo ass.
Oh, my goodness. That would have started a war.
It would have been a war. It would have been really bad.
I'm glad she sat on it.
The only reason you came and knocked on my door last night was because my boyfriend dropped his phone 3 times in a row last night. His disability is being clumsy.
Butterfingers.
And he can't help it. Other than that, we are perfectly quiet. Bold of you to file a noise complaint just 6 days after moving in, really making a great first impression. These apartments are cheap for a reason. You can hear everything. I highly recommend moving to the top floor if you're sensitive to sounds. Love your upstairs neighbors. I'm glad she went with the first one, but that one is funny.
It is funny, but you know what sometimes I think is like when I'm out and someone is being rude to an elderly person or like you get frustrated because they're not driving fast, I then think, oh my gosh, what if that was like my grandma or my grandpa?
Or us. Like eventually we're going to be older
I would
too.
Hate that.
Like we want to
try to stop myself from
getting frustrated.
I'm glad she kind of sat on it for a few days.
Yeah.
And decided, okay, let's not start this off. But that is kind of funny.
It's comical. But yeah, I think it's always good to be the better, like the bigger person, give the person the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Like maybe this is a really hard transition for her. Like you said, like maybe her spouse died. And that's why she had to give up her house. She couldn't afford her house anymore. And she had BFFs. That would be kind of cool if they actually ended up finding common ground.
Met. She hated me for dropping my phone 3 times and said I had a disability. But now we love each other. She bakes me cookies.
We have card games.
She's taught me how to knit. It's great. We love Jay.
It would be cool if that happened. Yeah. We'll see.
Well, whoever wrote this in, if you guys end up forming a friendship, please let us know because we're really interested and that would be a great end to the story.
Maybe she'll be like the college kid's like adopted grandma or something.
That would be cute.
It would be cute.
But clearly she doesn't like noise, so I hope they don't throw a party because boy, did we have parties back then at that. I don't know how we didn't get in trouble. But let us know what you think. Would you be petty or would you be kind?
Yes.
Because
it's hard. Tell us your dilemmas. I know, like, so many people that have lived in apartments that have had very similar things happen, and we would love to hear your stories, too, because this is, like, a whole topic in and of itself.
There's even been, like, crazy stories of people living in an apartment. This is going to be really disgusting and bad, but like living in an apartment and then they would smell something and then things started dripping from, and the person like died above them. Yeah. That is insane.
Like they're like, yeah.
Write those in if you have that, because I'm just interested if that's like just randomly, if it truly happens.
Brooke kind of low-key likes murder stuff.
I do like a good crime scene.
I mean, Crime Junkies is always going to be
Not crime
the
scene,
best.
crime junkies.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
best
crime
podcast.
scene.
No.
I'll throw up.
Not in real life.
No. But they do be blurring them photos on
ID channel.
just don't even unblur them. I can pretty much see it all. Just might as well. But I knew if they did, I'd be like, throw it up. But anyways, let us know what you think. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Write in any of the dilemmas you've had with your apartment or situations of that sort. And let us know if you would be really kind replying back, or if you would take it to another petty level. So, and make sure to
follow, subscribe. You can find us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and that's about it because we got rid of our Spotify.
Yeah, sorry, Spotify. Love you. We'll try you again in the future. Tune in to our next episode on Thursday.